Hey, I'm Deontay Jenkins, and here's what's on my mind. 5 writing tips from J.K. Rowling, the Minister of Magic herself. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you like what you're seeing here, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can check out my latest short film, Cassidy, by hitting the link in the description below, and let me know what you think. Now that that's out of the way, J.K. Rowling, she's got some tips for writers. I like doing these videos where I give you advice for some experts. I only do the ones that really help me, so if it helps me, I figure it can help you guys too. So for those of you who've been living under a rock for the past 20 years, J.K. Rowling is the creator of the Harry Potter series. I got a robe right there. Best-selling book series of all time, and she's inspired children and adults for over 2 decades now. Imagine what the world would be like without Harry Potter. Honestly don't know how you guys lived before those books. Now, into her advice. Her first piece of advice is a pretty obvious one, but one that people really need to hear sometimes. Write what you're passionate about. There's so many times that we try to change our writing and change our writing style and change the topics and the subjects and the genres that we want to write in just to fit into some type of mold or some type of blueprint of what we think a writer should be. All that. Write what you love and write it well. You will find that the best writing comes from the things that you're the most passionate about. So if you like football, write about football. If you like superheroes, write about superheroes. If you like man-eating pizza monsters, write about man-eating pizza monsters. You're really f***ing weird if you like man-eating pizza monsters, but still write about it. A lot of times we fail at writing just because we're not writing what we're passionate about, something that comes from ourselves. Don't conform, don't change, do you. A bit of practical advice next. Write when you have time. Unless you're a successful writer already, you likely don't have very much time to write. Whether school, work, or just life is getting in the way, you don't have as much time to write as you would like. But when you do have time, take that time and write. Even if it's 5 minutes, take that time to write something. It took J.K. Rowling almost 10 years to write the first Harry Potter book. Having enough time to write is not the issue. The issue is taking the time that you do have and making the most of it. Got 20 minutes on the train? Write. Got 10 minutes before classes? Write. Half an hour lunch break? Write. Make sure you're taking the time that you're given to do what you're passionate about. Don't let all these other things get in the way and stop you from doing what you want. And don't let the lack of time be an issue. Take as much time as you need and take as much time as you have. And write, write, write. One of the things that J.K. Rowling likes to stress is that planning is essential. If you've read the Harry Potter book series, you know that it seems like everything has been planned out from the beginning. And that's partially true. J.K. Rowling had an outline of what she wanted to happen from the beginning. Now that's not saying she wrote every single plot point and every single story beat for all 7 books from the beginning of when she started writing the book series. That's just saying she had an idea of where she was going. She had very important points that she knows she needed to hit in order to tell the story that she wanted to tell. That way, everything leading up to those points informs those points. J.K. Rowling was setting things up for book 7 way back in book 3. In fact, she had to rewrite book 1 because she felt that it gave away too much of the plot for book 7. Not only did she take the time to plan the story, she took the time to plan the world that she was building. 5 years, in fact. She took 5 years to plan every single detail of this world and make it seem realistic and inhabitable. Governments, money, schools, hospital, all of these things she planned out beforehand. That way, when she got to the actual story, all she had to do is set it in the world that she had already known. Again, time is not an issue. Take your time, plan things out, and make sure they're right. Planning is really important. Most good writers will tell you that. But just as important as planning is rewriting. Like I said, she had to rewrite book 1 because she felt that it gave away too much of what's going to happen in the future. A lot of times we like to write and just think it's done. That's stupid. A good writer knows that 90% of what they write is crap. You're trying to find that 10% of gold. So sometimes you have to rewrite things to find that gold. Sometimes things don't go as planned. One of my favorite stories is how in Breaking Bad, J.K. Rowling has nothing to do with this show, Jesse Pinkman was meant to be killed off in the first season. Now for any of you who've seen Breaking Bad, you know how important Jesse becomes to the story. But that wasn't the original plan, so they had to rewrite because people love Jesse so much. Rewrites don't necessarily change the overarching plan, but they do change things. And sometimes things just need to be changed. You're going to be thinking at a different way at the end than you were at the beginning. Sometimes that's better, sometimes that's worse, but rewrites are not going to hurt your story. If anything, it's polishing all of the crap off of the good story that you have. Keep it moving, keep rewriting. Her last piece of advice is to be aware of the story pacing. Even when you've plotted out everything, story pacing needs to be at the forefront of your mind. Sometimes you may need to move events up a little bit. Sometimes you need to push them back. Sometimes you need to add events. Making sure the pacing is good is making sure the reader of whatever you're writing isn't bored. Now, pacing comes from structure, so you want to pay attention to the way that you're structuring your stories in order to get things moving and keep things moving. All at a pace that feels comfortable for whoever's reading it. I did a video on the 3-act story structure, which is just one of many story structures. Check it out if you really want to understand how the basic story structure works. So overall, these 5 things will help you become a better writer. Even if you don't like the Harry Potter book series, you can't deny the greatness of J.K. Rowling. She has hundreds of millions of fans and sold probably just as many books. J.K. Rowling is one of the most influential writers of all time. So pay attention to these things, and I promise that you'll improve. But then again, what do I know? Thank you again for checking out this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you thought it was cool. You can follow me here on social media. Tell me what you thought by dropping a comment down below. And once again, I'm Deontay Jenkins. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.